and gentlemen, welcome back to... Whoa, what happened? Oh, I clicked off that I was in my server instead of on this chat. There we go, it's fixed. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Heroes Give Chase, episode 52. The show is getting all its way through the midlife right now, and so far we've already had several crises. I am Tetcha, your DM, and we have our wonderful players, Kendrick, Swish, Faye, Jixie Cat, and Crowan, playing Dungeons & Dragons another time. Before we jump too far into it, let's find out what everyone has been up to in the past week. I have been casting more heroes with Jixie, been tidying up, and slowly preparing for my journey back to the United Kingdom. And it was announced last week that I will be casting Method Madness for Heroes of the Storm. That's every Tuesday from now on, hopefully forever, but currently for 5 weeks. Feels good. Alrighty, Kay Crowan, what have you been up to this week?
This week? Oh man, it was kind of a weird week, but all in all, still doing similar stuff, TFT, D&D, all that good stuff. Been practicing a little bit because there's Giant Slayer Series tournament that I have tomorrow this week, so gonna be playing in that. But yeah, that's me.
Alright, sounds good. Hey Jixie, what have you been up to?
There we
go. Sorry, you appeared through the house first, and I thought that meant you were muted, but it was just a delay. You're good. Sorry.
Oh, we did some casting. Played in a Heroes tournament and won last week. I think that was last week. Went 2-1. Very fun games. Got dunked on the Arthas. Feels bad. Yeah, that's really about it. We did a bunch of Heroes stuff. Trying to think if there's anything else.
We did some cooking. Lots of that.
We did cook. We cooked some delicious, tasty recipes, and they went totally well. Did not accidentally get home late and have a panic attack halfway through the one last night.
Yep, that happened, but not really. You can't prove it. Hey, Faye, what have you been up to in the last week?
Last week, just standard, working on articles and scripts for TFT, playing a little bit of D&D. Been trying to scratch the MMO itch, but it's really hard to find an MMO to play that actually scratches that itch, so the search continues.
I feel you.
There was an MMO called Fractured that had like an open playtest, and it wasn't good. So
Aww.
the search continues.
Waiting for that Amazon Lord of the Rings MMO that's supposedly coming out soon.
Hoping Ashes of Creation comes out soon, because it's
true.
looking pretty decent for all those like Kickstarter MMOs that sprung up like 5 years ago.
Very true. Jinxie, thank you for the 19-month subscription. Feels amazing, man. Thank you very much. And we'll check back in, Faye, next week to see how the MMO search is going with our new section, MMO search, which is definitely real. Kendrick Swish, what have you been up to in the last week?
Hey, what's up, guys? So yeah, last week was pretty cool. I played a little bit of Total War Warhammer 2 again. Just a classic game, really. I was looking forward to more D&D. I think last session was probably one of the best ones we ever had.
I'm very glad.
You did a really good job DMing. I really liked it. Other than that, just working, just organizing stuff. It's getting warmer here in Sweden, so I need to get used to the t-shirt, pants life, shorts life again. It's good though. Could be worse.
Could be worse. Alrighty. Well then, with everyone telling us what happened last week, let's find out what happened in game last week. The group finally leaving the city that they had last spent their time in, we decided to try and make the final last dash to the border to get the hell out of Jokma. In doing so, they scooted out the city. They were informed on the way out, though, that if they were interested, there was a mysterious party that had kidnapped a very important gnome using a flying invisible griffin when they had last been seen. Four humanoid people and a flying invisible griffin were the last people spotted with this creature, and a search party had been dispatched to find them. The group, though, just made out as quick as they could before seeing a sky argument, is the best way to describe it, and following its
Sky.
instructions, headed to a river and met up with a drow-favoured consort, who requested audience with the leader, which he was convinced was Shivari, but was eventually talked into agreeing to speak to all of you, and said that your presence had been requested due to some friends you had made along the way, some friendships, or at least acquaintances with the drow, with the Githyanki that have been in the material plane, the casual relations with the Magical Independence and Liberation Front, and your first introduction to the Dragon Cult, who had also made their way along. You guys were invited to listen in on and give your advice onto a treaty between all of them, which they would use to fight the Illithid threat, which existed in the Underdark. Via some very tough negotiations and some great insight from the party, a deal was struck, where all sides considered fair, and the Underdark will hopefully be policed and removed of Illithids, no matter where they may hide, including Underholm, where permission was stated to allow all of these factions to move freely in the Underdark that rests beneath the Great City. After this, the group skedaddled further and met up with a group of mercenaries who insisted to sell their favors to the party, believing that you guys look strong, but you could use a bit of extra muscle. Leonhard embarrassed the shit out of a guy named Martin.
Oh.
Absolutely bodied him. And Kaizan made a bet, saying that if Leonhard won, Martin would travel with the group free of charge. As Leonhard won the fight, Martin joined the group and spent most of the time sleeping because he got fucking battered. So he had to take a rest to heal up. However, in the morning, Kaizan woke up Martin to assist him in hunting, and Martin was quite successful. He found a boar and brought it back. Kaizan then shot him several times.
Oh.
Martin was then left to die at the hands of a slutty tadpole that it turns out Kaizan has been carrying with him this entire time. After Kaizan had to wrestle with it for a bit to get it back in its ball, the slutty tadpole ate Martin, with Shivari bearing witness as she came to the screams, and the slutty tadpole was killed as it attempted to leave and attempted to hide. After this, the group, after a quick discussion between Shivari and Kaizan, you'll have to go back and watch the episode on YouTube, they noticed that there were some very loud footsteps happening, and upon a good perception check into the woods, they noticed a giant metal creature, a Warforged Titan, was making its way in pursuit of the party. After a struggle, but using some great magic and teamwork to get the horse, Retribution, tied up to the cart, the group set off and was able to outpace the Warg-mounted orcs and the Warforged Titan. In doing so, kiting the shit out of it by dropping a Guardian of Faith and some Evard's Black Tentacles and bodying it to the point where it was one shot before it even got into range of Kaizan's arrows. Which is eventually what brought it down, as you guys stood your ground and set an ambush to defeat the orcs on wargs. And Kaizan, sending one arrow at max range, which did not matter because sharpshooter, finished off the Warforged Titan, sending a single bolt down and causing it to come crashing down to Earth. And that is where we left off. Before the episode started, I had the group roll investigation checks, as you can see in the chat, and we're about to find out what loot we got. So, as you all begin to search the wargs and the orcs, you're going to be finding, collectively, for starters, Kaizan with the highest roll, you're going to be able to find what appears to be on the orc with the claws, who was doing some hella damage before she was killed, you find what appears to be a belt. It has, let me see if I can find a design on it. Either way, the rest of you, you're going to find a united 1,400 gold,
Nice.
clearly used for lodgings and extra assistance in the pursuit. So that would be split 3 ways is 350 each. Split 4 ways, sorry. So if you want to do it that way. Okay, so
Yeah, I'd do it that way.
fair enough. Sounds good. So the belt is a leather belt with a metal inset into the front, a metal buckle. The buckle appears to be some kind of face, It also has a leather strap that comes up into a red gem and goes into shoulder pads. That is the belt. And the last thing to be found, which could either be found by Sartre or Shivari, you two would find a letter stamped with the seal of Jokma.
Ooh.
That is what you would find.
By the way, question about the big construct thing. Was it
Mm-hmm.
similar or the same as the one that was in Ina?
Looks pretty much the same. It was hard to tell it was diet time, but it looks pretty similar, if not the same. It's hard to tell.
Okay.
Okay. Leonhard got pretty beat up in that fight, so he would just encourage everyone to continue the trip, and he would just lay down, on the cart and be like, "Your Grace, could you take the reins perhaps for a bit?"
Can I please put my armor on first? I got my ass handed to me.
Oh, likewise.
Okay, spend a couple minutes getting
Alright.
dressed.
Yup.
There is
Oh.
a letter here, sealed chocolate. Do you want me to open that?
Yes, please.
Open the letter and
Okay.
read what's
It's
inside.
in Orcish, but you can read it. It is a writ of pursuit, which, due to the trade and prisoner alliance between the countries of of Jokma and Brain is dead. Countries of Jokma and Naylor. The countries of Jokma and Naylor. It would allow the Jokma pursuit force to enter into Naylor if required to continue to pursue criminals guilty of kidnapping a person of great importance.
Huh. They're not gonna stop coming after us then.
The letter is vague as to who these criminals are, and it is equally as vague as to who is supposed to be holding the letter.
I could send to Thrall and say that, oh, don't worry, we captured them and they are dead now. Send word back that you don't have to pursue them anymore.
Yeah, we could tell them the gnome is heading back with the party that we just met up with. So they should be on their way.
I don't know if eventually they would continue to look for us, but by time.
Yeah, that's a really ingenious idea, Shivari.
Alright, do I have a spell slot? I do. I'll cast Sending on Thrall.
Okay.
Shit, what was... forgot what Satra's Jokma name was. Was it Luther?
Luther Iron.
I think it was the very
That
creative choice
is.
of Luther.
Yeah, Luther.
Luther
Yes.
Ironhide?
It is.
Yeah, Ironhide or Ironheart?
Heart.
Ironheart.
Cool.
Hello, Thrall. Luther Ironheart's company has met up with the scouting party, and we took care of the group that we were pursuing, and they will be heading back with the gnome.
You have two
He's
more
passive.
words. Okay. Alright, you hear silence for a moment, and then you hear... for starters, roll a deception check.
Here.
Ew.
You hear silence, and then... Message received. Am I to understand you will be returning with the party?
Well, I don't have another spell slot, so
Alright.
gotta wait an hour.
Alright, so you
I
guys...
haven't even said anything back. Be like, get wrecked.
Alright.
Would anyone like some healing? We have 10 minutes to spare. In the additional
I
10 minutes to
volunteer.
put my armor. Like I have
I
enough.
volunteer, Your
Yeah.
Grace.
Oh, I got plenty of spells. Loads of spells. All right. I'm gonna take 10 minutes to cast Prayer of Healing.
Okay. Okay, so big healing numbers for all.
I'll cast it at 3rd level.
Oh, for how many does
Mhm.
this affect?
Prayer of Healing, I believe it affects up to 6 creatures.
Nice. Okay.
Cleric between the 4 of us. Thank God there ain't more of us.
Alright.
Everybody gets
24 points of healing.
24 points of healing plus
Oh, plus?
5, I believe.
Oh, you haven't
for
added
Disciple
your
of
thing
Life.
already?
29.
2
Alright.
plus a spell's level. So, yep, 29 points of healing to the whole gang.
Alright.
And I can
Big
re-equip my
chunky
armor. Feels
heals.
good.
I didn't even take damage in the last fight.
Must be
Alright.
nice.
So, as you guys heal up and continue your mounted ride, you see what appears to be a guard post set up ahead along the road. Inside, you see someone who looks pretty relaxed, but they notice you coming. They scramble to get up and stand to attention. As you approach, stands in the road, holds out his hand as you guys approach. Halt! Do you stop?
Yeah, we'll stop. I'll stop.
Okay. He walks up to you and goes, "And how are you all doing today? You fine? Excuse me, I'm messing up. How are you all doing today, you fine folk?"
Thanks for asking. You're just heading into Nayla, looking for ne'er-do-wells, you know.
Of course, I understand. So might I ask if this is a trading cart or a business cart or a pleasure cart?
I will pull out the super convenient Jockmore letter and hand it to him.
Rich pursuit, eh? Well, I can't say I've seen anyone come past here, but the alliance is set. I still have to fill in my paperwork, though, so should I put down business?
Yes.
And of course, this needs to go to... official business, of course, needs to go to both countries. Make sure everyone's on the same page. So business and what company should I put this under?
You know, I think that's my second in command's. He's got the paperwork that's got our company number on it. What do you say?
Leonard looks away. Like, don't pick me.
I was gonna pick you. I can't remember what your name is. Oh no, I didn't save it.
I even forgot it as well.
I'm gonna clap Leonard on the back and be like, he's got the number for you right here, huh, buddy? You have to forgive us. We've been fighting wilderness and whatnot, so we're very
I understand. As a fair warning, it's not going to get a huge amount better up ahead.
excellent. Exactly what I had anticipated.
Well, you see, I think I may have, and then he just says 6174.
6174. Understood. That'll be sent off. Now, if you all don't mind, just to be sure, this is just a formality. I do have a couple questions for you, and I will be requiring you to all submit to a zone of truth. Is this understandable and okay with you?
I don't understand why we're being put under such tight security. You have all of our information.
There is a war going on, and unfortunately, we just have to make sure it's standard questions. Do you intend to perform any terrorist acts in Naylor? Do you intend to perform genocide? Do you have any illegal products with you? Stuff like that.
Of course not. Our intentions are as pure as the spring nearby.
Well, let's make sure then. I am going to cast the spell now. I will be able to tell if you resist it. And with that,
At this like watch postcard post, is there just like this one person here?
there is one person here.
Okay.
Oh no!
Evil Kaizen has awoken again.
For no reason at all, just curious.
Okay.
Another test subject.
All right.
As he starts setting up for his zone, can I just like reach out and grab him and then just like cast fast friends under my...
If you could put fast friends in the chat.
Sure. I'll burn all my level 3 spell slots.
For starters, you don't need to grab him. It's range of 30 feet.
Okay. I just want to like reach out, clasp him on the back, and just like here's to find like, friend, come now. You're among friends. I am a general or a captain in the Jackma army. You know, you can trust me.
Okay. What's your DC?
My DC is this is a paladin spell is 16.
Okay. Can you also roll a stealth check? As the DC fails, now to see if he notices you casting a spell.
Fuck.
Dog
Oh,
Lady,
this
thank you
is
very much
starting
for the subscription. Twitch Prime.
Oh, that's
The
not
spell
bad.
did not even take effect, so in this case it will not matter. Okay, he does not notice you casting the spell. With that, the Zone of Truth activates. You all now have the option to make a charisma saving throw, or to optionally fail.
Fail.
You choose to fail.
And
Fail.
what was his
Fail.
question again?
He's going to ask the questions afterwards. He gave you examples like, are you going to
Okay.
commit terrorist acts or stuff like that?
Ah, okay.
Okay. Do you choose to fail or wait the save? Remember, he said he
You
can
know
tell
what?
if you fail, if you succeed.
Yeah, I know how this works.
Choose to fail.
Choose to fail.
I didn't invest all these points into charisma for nothing.
He looks at you, Leonhardt. Why did you choose to resist? These are just standard questions.
Leonard tries to put on his most innocent puppy face that he can come up with, and he would be like, "I am my most humblest of apologies. I see there were raiders on the road, and it still boggled my mind. I'm so sorry. If you wouldn't mind, I would gladly assist and try again." And he was
If you resist again, this will result in a 50 gold fine. He's going to cast the spell again, burning up a spell slot. He doesn't have many. All right.
Leonard meta games him until he's out of spells.
All right.
No, Leonard won't try to
Okay.
resist this time.
Alrighty. The Zone of Truth takes effect. So, as a heads up for you, the wording of this spell is, you cannot speak a deliberate lie while in the radius. Everything else goes, but you cannot speak a deliberate lie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you for your cooperation. Now then, first question. Do you intend to commit any terrorist acts while you are in Naylor?
No.
No.
Do I look like a terrorist? Of course not.
No.
Excellent, excellent. Have you at any point committed what could be considered under the category of genocide?
No.
We
Hello?
seem to be back. Ops reconnection successful. Yeah, we just dropped everything there for a bit.
Oh,
Okay. We're gonna
wait, it
push
says you
some...
can't hear me. Is that true?
I can hear you
Can
now.
hear you.
You can hear
Okay,
you.
Yep,
it's lying.
Yep.
Okay. So what we're gonna